Yo, what's going on, guys? Feeling good this morning. Yeah, I did already hit my goal. So, I'm gonna have some rules in place. I will risk half of what I got. So, if I hit 275 on my P&L, I'm gonna shut it down. I put in the Discord, this this weekly gap we got is a ripe target. We've already dipped into it, but I think it's likely that we could hit half at least, and then also potentially close the whole gap. But when we've been in this position before, especially coming from all-time highs, we've had a tendency to overshoot this gap big time. So if we're anticipating that we're going to close this gap, the initial bias is short. And if we are going to take any bounce trades, it needs to be very backed up through order flow. And hopefully we can get a good level as well. But I've a couple times in recent past, probably over the last month, when we've been in this situation and we have a gap below, we end up overshooting it big time. So definitely going to be careful about that. Short-term bias, long-term. Short-term bias, long-term. Did you mean short-term bias is long? I'm glad you're doing well. I got a goal set. Forget short-term bias. Okay, copy that. Cool. Let's see. It looked a little. Gold looked a little choppy this morning, to me at least. Let me check it out. Oh, okay. Yep. I see that. It's pretty close to these relative equal lows here at 3970. I'm looking at it right here. Down here. Could be looking at a sweep of those lows. Yeah, I see that. It looks like it could be going for more. Kind of same thing happening on NQ. We came down, dug into that weekly gap, and then kind of left it. But I don't think that's going to be it for the morning. At least that's my guess. Seeing the break structure entered, but now I'm very hesitant because it looks like a retest. I'm not sure. Let me see. Let me go to gold. $3,984. Okay, so first let me make sure that you're this is a tough one because you're doing a reversal play, right? But here's the thing: is if you got a major downtrend, or let me pull this over here. You're trying to hit this reversal, and so yes, there is a breaker structure right here, but if you have a pretty heavy downtrend, you want to make sure that you're hitting a higher time frame breaker structure. So that breaker structure would probably be on the 5-minute or the 15-minute, and I can tell just by looking at it right here this is where you want to see it break. Like, this is your confirmation if you're trying to get long in here. I'm not saying this can't work out, but if you're looking at this downtrend, you want to make sure that breaker structure is meaningful. This one right here, I wouldn't say it's meaningful. It looks like you have some momentum going up here, But this is going to be the meaningful break of structure you're looking for, where it creates a higher high and a higher low here. So this could work out, but you still don't have a meaningful break of structure yet. And so that's not something we really covered yesterday, but this could work out. So what do you do right now? Do you hold it? Where's your stop? Down here? To be honest, since we have the open coming up, I don't think I would hold this through the open. I would probably close it, wait to see what happens at the open, and then see if your idea plays out. Cool. Well, at least you got a break even or something on it. Don't have any bad feelings if this ends up working out in your favor, but I would say holding a trade like this can be really risky going into the open. So I would say just reassess. Yep, that's a good way of looking at it. All right, what do we got? Like 6 minutes to the open. So, based on the higher time frames, based on where we are with the weekly gap below us, I'm feeling short. We have been going down overnight, and so that's definitely a factor that maybe is a little bit of evidence against a short bias, except for the fact that we have this gap underneath this. So I think we'll take this low, and I think we'll keep going. 25,600 is my first short target. If I find an entry to get in short, I'll likely take it. Off the open, maybe we can expect hitting one of these levels, the point of control or this value area high. Value area high is at VWAP, and it might look like we're, breaking out to the long side. A breakout to the long side to tap this value area high. Also, this big sell order here on the left side. Oh, wait, let me pull it over here. Aligns with this value area high. Also, this VWAP. So this would be a great level if we can hit around 25,800 for a short. Kind of what I'm thinking. It could all go to hell, but that's how I'm feeling. Yeah. So Max, you're saying where would I take that short? And I think the best level would be this level right here, 25,810 ish, right? Because we sweep these highs, we go right to this this big order right here. We got internal liquidity here, and we also got the value area high and the VWAP. This is the session VWAP. So we got 30 seconds to the open. Let's see what happens. And then how far can we dig into this gap? To be honest with you, so this 25,600 is about the midpoint of that weekly gap. But this was going to be my first target, but we could go well beyond that weekly gap as well. So we'll just have to wait and see. Now, if we just start dumping, it's probably going to go against, what my sort of idea was, which was to get a higher price to go short. So I might have to just be patient and watch if we just start dumping. Because I would hate for this to whiplash. Yo, good morning, Adam. How you doing, brother? We're just talking about, we're looking for shorts. And we got this weekly gap below us. We could start digging into it, but I was hoping we would come sweep these highs, hit this value area high, combined with the VWAP potentially. As an entry up here. So if we could enter short from up here, that would be ideal. If this just starts dumping, I will probably watch in fear of this whiplashing. So I'm looking for a short up here around 25,800-ish, give or take, probably 10 points on either side. Maybe 5 points on the downside and 10 points on the upside. Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, I was trading in here. I took some scalps in here, and it worked out. I was up early. I went to bed early. I should say that. Went to bed early, woke up early, so it was good. Yep. So we got, a couple of different considerations, right? So we open here. We closed yesterday here. So we got quite the gap above us. But when you get so far away from yesterday's close, the gap fill, the idea that you're going to fill half of that gap, the probability changes drastically. It goes down. So right now, we're looking for this weekly gap to get filled. Here, check this out. Here, or this 25,600 is about halfway, midpoint. So I'm thinking if we're going to bounce, we're going to do it after we fill that gap, or at least half of it. Looks like we're not getting a good price to go down from, but it looks like we got some good momentum heading down. Not super keen on taking a short just as it's dumping. So I'm going to watch here for a minute. No news today. At least that I saw. Here, I'll pull up what I Yeah, Adam, if you can confirm that. I looked at USD red folder news and got nothing. But yeah, if you see that, let me know. And then let us know what time it is. Okay, cool. All right, so we got value area low here. 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay, cool. Copy that. All right, looks like we're doing a little bounce here at the value area low. Probably just a little pullback. It's looking heavy. But I don't like the idea of taking it down here. But if you guys are a little more brave than I am, then, it looks like we're going down. This pullback here might have been an okay entry. It just, off the open like this, it could, I'm afraid of, get my face ripped off if I'm trying to short way down here. Looks heavy though. If it actually breaks the low, the weight gap down, would not be surprised for more downside. Yes. 25,600 first target. I mean, that's what, about 7 or about 100 points below us. And then, I think 25,500 could, very likely happen as well. I think we're gonna have to see, but I think taking bounce trades is gonna be dangerous. $25,873. No, I didn't look into Ranch. Can you remind me again what I was supposed to look into? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Let me write it on my little notepad here. Or my sticky note. Numbered system, huh? Okay. Man, look at this. It would be, just like in Q, if we left this weekly gap down here and just started moving up. Wow. Well, I think still if we get up here to this VWAP, I'll take it short. Even if we're ranging here between the value area high, value area low potentially, I'll take it short up here. We might even bounce from the point of control right here. I'm gonna wait for the. Well, we just had more volume come down here, so the point of control moved. But I might just wait for this value area high because this is a pretty intimidating bounce, and I want to wait till it's exhausted. Yeah, Adam, do you mind explaining what you got for your gap down playbook? First 5 minute candle, solid red or close to it. Wait for a tad of consolidation, then break of low. Ah, okay. Basically a continuation play. Five-minute candle, solid red or close to it. Wait for a tad of consolidation, then break of low. Okay. This wick right here, I mean, that's pretty intense right here. What's going on? Obviously, there are lots of people getting squeezed out right now. So we're still, super negative on the session on Delta. But it's because we did all of this overnight. But I'm still interested in taking this short. My only hesitation here is that this is quite the bounce candle here. I would prefer this. I would prefer this to, at the very least, hit the value area high before going short. Might not get that, unfortunately. Try and be patient. Well, maybe we get one more push up. This is, let's say this is a pullback candle. We get one more push up. It's looking like this could push all the way back down potentially. So it looks more like a reversal candle than a pullback. do have this, big buyer entering right here. More buying. Green bubbles or whatever. So let's say in this scenario, the green bubbles, what I'm watching for are these big buy orders being accepted by price, meaning does price push up, or does price reject off of these big green bubbles? In which case, it could really be a signal for anything. It kind of depends on where they're showing up and what the move is currently doing. So right here, it's at the top of this move. You got buying happening at the top of this level. We want to see, does price continue moving up, or does it get rejected right at these green bubbles? Is price being rejected and not accepted? That would mean that these green bubbles are these big buy orders are essentially being absorbed by passive sellers. Or if those passive sellers are not present, these green bubbles can cause an expansion. And then they defend the level. So what we want to watch for is this price accepting or rejecting, and then are these levels defended? And right now it's looking like it's pushing through. So right now taking a short on this looks a little risky. It's hitting the level that I wanted, but we got this support right here that price seems to be respecting. So this is starting to look like a breakout to me. The only thing I don't like about this is this looks a little lackluster down here. Like we really didn't make much of an attempt to dig into this weekly gap down here. That's the only thing kind of going against this being a breakout for me, but we are above VWAP now. We have buyers stepping in. Price is accepting these large buy orders. So, this evidence seems to be stronger than just there being a gap down here. I might hop in long. I'm gonna wait here just a second. But this was a really strong impulse candle, pullback, and then we have buyers stepping in right as we sort of recover the pullback. It looks to me like a breakout so far. We've got this big sell order over here, this big buy order over here. So it's kind of like, we're in a battle zone right here, and it looks like buyers are winning. And this could be the start of a reversal. And if this has the strength to keep going, we might not revisit, these prices down here. We might be going from this value area high to, a previous balance area, which might be the close of yesterday, potentially. At least this 50% Fibonacci and reassess, but it's looking, like a breakout to me. I hate that, the breakout level here, and then we're up, 30 points. What is this, 680? So, we're up about 150 points right now from the low here. But this thing could go a lot higher. We dropped 300 points or something like overnight. What is that? More than 300 points, 400 points. So looks like the initial bias for today was incorrect, and so we have to pivot. So if this is breaking out, where can we get in? A retest of this big bubble would probably be a great entry, but who knows if we even come back here. Nice. You just hopped in. Sometimes that's the thing to do, man. I mean, yeah, and you think about it this way, you got a lot of people that, were looking at this dump overnight and thinking we're going to hell. And now that we're not going to hell, you've got fuel for the rocket. So I mean, this is a low confirmation here. These kind of like impulse moves are, these are the ones you want to be on. You want to be on right here when it pulled back. But obviously the bias was changed, at least for me. So this is maybe at the start of this breakout above VWAP, I could have hopped in right here. But I'm gonna wait for a retest. But now that we got these big bubbles showing up, it's like we might not come back down and retest this level. We might just rip. About to hit that 50% Fibonacci. So I'll be watching right here for, what do we do here? Are we just going to rip above this? This is 50% of what the move was that from this move. So what do we do right here? Is price going to rip through this, or we going to potentially see some passive buyers up here waiting? First time we've seen large selling. Looks like we're coming back for a pullback, potentially. I don't know. We got some big buying happening, so the pullback that we get here might be super shallow. But it looks like it wants to. But looks like we got a floor here, like it keeps coming back and like banging its head against this floor right here, and looks like it's being held up right here. Yeah, it was tough because I didn't see a hard rejection down here, really. I just took off. Yeah, Adam says if it was news related, okay, but this just could be a slight correction or pullback. It could be. The strength that came out of this bottom here was pretty powerful. And then the confirmation we got through these big buys happening right at these levels look at all this shit, overnight. Look at these candles. And then look at these candles. Obviously lower volume overnight, but these candles are pretty massive here. What do we got? This is 681. That's a 100-point candle here. This is probably an 80-point candle here. Some strength in that. All right, we're crossing over that 50% Fibonacci. As I was watching these candles form, it looked like we had a floor down here. Basically right where the bottom of this candle is. So let's see, can we bust through this the bottom of this candle, or are we going to continue to have support? There we go, it busted through. It's getting picked back up. Still got some strength. Yeah, Jules didn't do anything. Yeah, it didn't look like it. We're right here. I don't see any sign of rejection. I'm tempted to buy the breakout of this 50% Fibonacci to continue. But, if we can get a deep pullback, I think that's what I'll wait for. You're going to trim your beard and get a shower. Okay, cool, man. With moves like this, sometimes you're just sitting there waiting for that pullback to happen, and it's a long time before you get one. And then by that time, the move might be exhausted. This was a move where, when you see it moving like that, I think, just in hindsight, looking at this, when you get an expansive move like this, that completely engulfs all of the volume prior to it, just boom. And then you get this pullback, and then at a breakout level like VWAP or the volume area high, when you get this confirmation bubble right here, because I was looking short, what I decided was I'm not going to short it. But if you didn't have that bias, you'd probably be thinking, well, it's breaking out here, so it's not that I'm not going to short it, but I'm actually going to long it. That probably would have been the move right here. Having this confirmation buy order right here at VWAP and the value area high, following this expansive move. I think this is, you don't see really great breakout trades very often, but I think this is a good breakout trade. Looks like we might get a little pullback, but it seems to me like it's going to be tough to get through this right here. I gotta make a quick phone call. Yep, me too, man. Uh, I got mixed feelings about it. I think that there are a lot of times, I don't know, you got to be aware of your surroundings, is what I think. If I think the best case scenario is come in with having an understanding of your surroundings and a game plan for a trade that you would take. And if it starts moving the other direction, you just got to adapt quickly. So my adaptation was I didn't take the trade that I was looking for. But yes, in the meantime, did not take a trade that I probably would have if I didn't come in with a bias. So, there's good and bad that you have to take with having a bias. I mean, having a bias is probably different from having a game plan. And having a game plan, if this, type of scenario, like if this happens, then this, I think is a healthy thing to have, but obviously you got to adapt. And in this scenario, this was a pretty huge, surprise that happened very, very quickly. And yeah, if you're quick and you can basically say you're wrong, you can hop on this. I mean, I think this right here was the point where instead of saying I'm not going to take it short, I could have been like, I'm hopping in long right here. So right now, the only thing we can do is look at where price is, look at what price is doing, and figure out, are there any opportunities we can take if price does this or price does that. Yeah, exactly, Max. You're looking at 26,000 for a short. I could see that. Let's see if we can get a pullback. That would be great. Okay, we're getting a healthy pullback right now. I think right in the middle of this kind of low volume stuff right here, maybe 25.8, 28-ish could be an entry for me. Maybe a starter position. Might not get there. I'm actually kind of surprised we've made it this far on this pullback. That quickly, I should say. Still trying to get your reset codes. What they say? For whatever reason, I'm feeling a little weary about taking this long. Maybe I just feel like it's coming down lower or something. Maybe down to VWAP. I went ahead and put in a short here. I guess I just feel like we were coming under these big orders, and it was looking like we were potentially building up some more selling. So either taking a pullback trade, or if this ends up being an upset and then, essentially reversing this move, that's kind of what I was playing off of, but I don't know. It's looking a little iffy right now. Maybe I should have just gone with this impulse move. We'll see though. It was looking a little weak. I'll let this play out. Yeah, not quite sure. Essentially, essentially, we hit this 50% Fibonacci, and that's where we decided to pull back. And then as we were pulling back, I was just noticing that the selling that was happening was being pretty damn effective on price. And so I was thinking we could go lower, and but I don't know. Could be wrong about this. Definitely would have been a lot better if I would have had this idea here. But I wasn't really thinking about. I was thinking I only want to take a pullback to go long until I was seeing how effective selling was down here and down here at moving price down. Like essentially, we didn't have a lot of absorption happening for the selling. And I guess I also kind of expected if we were going to pull back here, even though I was kind of keying in on these levels down here. If we pull back to these levels, I wanted to take a buy like down here. Um, I was kind of expecting maybe a quick pullback, and then we immediately start resuming to go higher. But it's looking like we're having a little bit of trouble here. It doesn't mean we're not gonna keep going higher, but I just kind of anticipated after this strength. Like, look at this pullback right here. This pullback was, I mean, obviously it was at the beginning of the impulse move, so um, it dropped and then immediately got picked back up. And here, I was kind of expecting something a little bit, maybe it take a little bit longer, but it just looked like we were struggling a little bit more here. So I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. But the level I took it off of based on this 50% Fibonacci, and then also we had this gap here. Looks like it might get stopped out right here, but that was kind of the thought process, at least, is that we could be reversing from there. Looks like it didn't play out, and maybe it just needed a stronger, or take its time on that pullback there. I think maybe since I came into today with like, I'm close to that 50% level I wanted to stop on. I've got my other accounts that aren't attached here, so I'll trade those. That was a like $275 loss or something like that. So I'm gonna switch accounts, and I'll just preserve my wins here. Let's see. All right. So to me, it looks like we got some consolidation happening here before we make any moves, I guess. So we might be stuck in this range for a little bit. Might come back to my original idea here. If we come down, dip down here, I might be looking for a buy around 25, 8, 10-ish or so. So here we kind of got, we have a balance area here, balance area down here. Might anticipate that dip happening, with this. This is essentially a low volume node right here. We got about, I don't know, 20 points or so in here that we could dip back down into. Before taking off. And hopefully we get that opportunity. Kind of looks to me like we're coiling up here, going for, we could potentially not dip any further and just break out from here. It's kind of what it's looking like to me. Kick Sniffer, are you still holding on to one? Are you still holding on to your full size here? Looking like we got another breakout here. Potentially. I'm gonna try long here. It's looking breakouty. I don't know how high we could go really, but 25,900 is right above us. Might just be a little scalp here. Dipping back into the range. Still looking like it could just be a pullback. That might be could be a potential manipulation though. Yep, might have been a manipulation there. It might be coming back down to this low volume node here. Okay, cool. looking like it wants to come down. Just not sure how far we're going, but I think this is probably a good target. Just essentially going back below this this little consolidation range here for a pullback. Definitely unfortunate when you you know, I mean, you reach, let's say it's 10:30 a.m., right? They did a pump and dump. Dude, South Park doesn't miss shit. But yeah, 10:30, right? So, you know, the first hour is behind us, and now it looks like we might have some consolidating to do. Who knows? All right, I'm gonna make a quick phone call. I'll be right back. All right. Might just need to wait for a pullback to this area. I mean, we swept this high. I thought it was going to be a breakout. We immediately came back in, started selling. So the thought was that this was not a breakout, and we were going to be dipping at the very least, for a pullback if we're going to break this level. But we're just kind of consolidating here in the middle. Unfortunately, it's about that time, right? 10:30. And so we might have some consolidation to hold through, but I got 3 on right here. Let's see if we can catch this, potential pullback. But if not, I don't know where I would want. There we go. Got stopped out, but I don't know where I want to take this because we're kind of messing around in here now. I don't know. I think we need to wait for another, if we can break these lows potentially. Or maybe this was just the pullback and, we got some tricky price action potentially. I might be down for one more attempt here. I don't know. I don't know if I trust the breakout just yet. Might trust it. Let's see. I mean, this is just a pretty gross pullback, I guess, right after breaking. It made it look like it was a fake breakout. Let's see. Probably just gonna wait and see if it breaks out for real instead of coming back into the range. It looks more like a real breakout now. I'll give it a try. I'll go stop below here. Could also be concerning that we got we're top heavy on this volume profile here. Top heavy volume profile can be a sign of a reversal too. That's the second time it's broken out and pulled back into the range. So it's been a little tricky right now. Max says, "Bro, wait for 26K." Yeah, 26K for short. I'm trying to take this breakout. So yeah, trying to take it long right now. But yeah, I mean, I can see that 26K short working out for show. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what's going on. I mean, it looks like we got two fake breakouts here. So maybe we just want to come down to these lower prices, and maybe I just need to sit on my hands while it's in this consolidation range. Is kind of what it's looking like to me. All right, stopped out. So no more breakout trades here. Probably wait for lower prices and maybe hit a long down here. Or I could definitely see that working out, waiting for it to break out up to go up here and then taking it short. I could see that. So looks like we might have some time to wait for this consolidation here to shake out. It's super top heavy right now, so I mean, at the very least, a pullback seems, like it could be a smart move to wait for. And it's tough to read price right now because we got buy orders happening up top, as if we're gonna break out and then we fail. So absorption up top, breakdown from this consolidation, and then maybe we can go for highs, but I don't know. I mean, I was feeling like this is just, I don't know, could get heavy, especially considering all these orders that are getting rejected up here. So let's see. All right. Maybe coming back to this VWAP, we got low volume here. We've got, heavy topside. I mean, it definitely would be comical if we came all the way back down to the low this morning. That would be pretty comical. Okay, we're just tapping into this low volume node right here. Now what we want to see is how do we react? Is it rejecting from down here? Is this acting as support? Or is it going to continue kind of melting through this? Still looking heavy. Tap that VWAP right there. Do we want to take a long now is the question, really, or is this coming all the way back down here? The fact that we had these weird rejections up top, these breakout rejections, was a little concerning for this to keep going higher. So right now I'm just watching. This is the level this is the area I was really watching for a pullback to. Let's see. But it's still looking a little heavy. I mean, for sure, the big surprise of the day could be to just retrace all of this. I'll do a tight stop on this and give it a shot. If I get the opportunity, I don't know. This is still looking a little heavy. So if I get the opportunity and this gives me a little bit of a bounce, I'm gonna break even on this, and we'll just see, because I don't know. This is looking a little funny. Okay, got to break even on it. I feel like this is looking funny. Like we could keep dropping. I don't know. I think I'm a little uncertain right now. That's what I think. Kick Sniffer, that sucks, man. The quality of support you're going to get it's definitely dependent. You know, it's going to differ based on what prop you're working with and what their policies are and shit. So I'll check it out though. Let's see what's up. Damn. That sucks. You haven't traded during outage time and you haven't provided in recording of time frame of outage during this time. You haven't been trading and your trading history confirms it. That sucks, man. Yeah, a lot of firms will do that just because they know that you don't you don't have a recording, and most people don't record, unfortunately. So guys, this is interesting where we're at right here. I mean, you can see the CVD almost completely retraced all of the volume that it did on this big up move, but we're still here. As opposed to like down here. So we've got a divergence, meaning we got more sell volume than is being represented in the price. So that would lead me to want to buy this dip. It's just about where now. Maybe I just go on with one. And then add. Let's go here. Give it a little bit of room. But that's what I'm reading on Delta right now. And Kick Sniffer, that sucks, dude. I don't know if you're I don't know. I mean, I'm an affiliate with the Futures Desk. I happen to think they're one of the best firms out there. I think right now you get 60% off if you use my code. I don't know if you're looking for a new firm to trade with, but I know whenever I trade with people and they piss me off like that, the next time I have the opportunity, I don't re-sign with them because customer service is huge. Yeah, I mean, this big move here that we're doing, right? This retrace. Again, it's like the big upset would be if we just continue going down and then we dig into this weekly gap that we were looking at earlier today. But the fact that we have this divergence, this divergence doesn't have to, dictate the trade decisions, but it's a pretty big, so essentially we started selling hard basically after reaching the top here. We started selling hard, and that selling has resulted in moving price halfway of the amount that this move did, this buy move, which means price is a lot more sensitive to buying than it is selling right now, which means we have passive buyers absorbing selling, aggressive selling. Yeah, man, I feel you, dude. I've been through that kind of shit before. They have the best payout. What does Alpha Futures do for payouts? 15,000 every 2 weeks. Up to 15,000 every 2 weeks, and you have to wait 2 weeks for a payout. 10 days or 14 days. Five. So, sorry, I forgot what my question was like. So 15,000 every 2 weeks, 14 days or 10 days, and you said 5. So every 5 days you can take out 15,000. I got to be honest on the amount that you can take out. I wouldn't worry about that as much because the first time you take a payout, I don't know. I mean, it could vary from person to person, but I wouldn't worry about getting a massive amount for your first payout because it's probably not going to end up being that. You're probably going to be, and this is just my guess based on experience, like, you don't want to be swinging for the fences for your first payout. You want to get a reasonably sized payout, like maybe $1,000, $2,000, and then you want to use that as, you want to keep that account going. So you don't want to, you want to take out, essentially you want to keep that account alive. So you want to have as much drawdown in that account as possible. And then, go for your next account. Like if you're, I don't know, how many accounts do you have right now? Basically what I'm getting at is you want to crawl before you try and walk. And especially you want to crawl before you want to try and run. And so like, you have 2, but they're screwed. That sucks. Did you have a funded account? I can't remember. Or are you just working on evals right now? You have one funded and one eval, and they're both screwed. Damn, that sucks. All right, this is looking like a potential continuation to the downside. I'll hold a break even on this, and this might be another break even trade, but we'll see. Damn. Is there any other way that you can prove that? I guess I don't really fully understand what the problem was, and it might be better left if we could like chat about it instead of you having to type it out. But from what I understand, like you woke up and you're like, you probably want to look at your executions. Like turn on your like look at every execution you had and see where it went wrong. You couldn't modify your positions. Copy that. Okay. So like you couldn't close it. Once they were entered, they had to hit take profit or stop loss, and the stop loss was set to max drawdown. Oh, that sucks. Man, I would try and escalate it. That's what I would do. I would reach out to the customer service and say, hey, I really need to speak with, probably the technical team's manager. Because if you couldn't close your position, you couldn't modify the stop loss, you couldn't modify the take profit, I'd continue to fight that. Just know that your time on that might be wasted. Man, okay, well, looks like this dip buy is not happening. Looks like, to me, even though CVD has this divergence, it's looking like selling is kind of relentless. And I don't know if we're going to bounce from this level or not. So I don't know. We're under VWAP now. That was like a breakthrough VWAP retest potentially. Man, I don't know if you recall, but whenever I was talking to you yesterday, I don't remember I said that usually getting that kind of stuff handled is tough because they'll usually say it didn't have nobody else experienced those issues, or it was outside the window of outage. That's kind of what they do. It's the futures desk. They use Project X as well, but their customer support is really good, and their platform is awesome. So not only do they have like a trader hub where you can plan your trades, you can set up your like trade setups and you can track them. They have a lot of good stats. In my opinion, it's the best version of Project X out there. Like it's exactly like what you're using Project X, but better because it has their own custom spin on it. So basically it offers like a trade journal with it, like as you're trading, your trades show up on the left, like in a nice neat format where you can click in it, write notes on your trades that you're currently in, or review all the trades you did for your day one by one. It's pretty cool. What do you do for work, Kick Sniffer? This is such an interesting little range we got going on here. I kind of feel like this was a pullback to continue going short. Let's see. You just hit rock bottom with your construction business. Okay. Copy that. Yeah, man. Sooner you get started on training, the sooner you can get, to the point where you're profitable. It's going to take a while. I would expect, just trying to be realistic here, I would expect at the very least a year, probably more realistically 2 years before you're consistently profitable. Um, yeah, Adam. Looks like we're doing a. Looks like this is kind of like a fake long breakout, and we're just gonna go for these lows now or something. This was a little bit odd the way it played out, but that's kind of what it's looking like to me, at least. The only thing going against it here is this delta divergence, but it's kind of looking like we're just gonna keep pushing through short. This was a little bit of a weird move, but this was maybe just a large manipulation move. Would I suggest full time off the rip? Well, here's what I would suggest. If you've got a lot of savings, cool. Yes, go full time. You spend all your time trading, and if you got savings, good. If you don't have savings and you're counting on money from trading, you're gonna have to figure out income. You don't want extra pressure on trying to make money trading. That's the worst thing you can do for your trading, because it'll cause you to make bad decisions, and then you're gonna have a ton of pressure, and you can't rely on trading money until you're consistent, until you've proven to be consistent. So, and even then, you can't. What will happen with trading profits and you're taking payouts is that you'll get some. If you get you'll get some payouts, and you'll grow as a trader, and then you'll probably end up blowing some accounts, and then you got to start over. It's not until you get in a really good rhythm that you can count on the money. And even then, anomalies happen. So you might have a really good payout or a really good couple weeks, and then you might have a dry spell. So it's just kind of depends on where you're at. If you have income, or if you have zero income right now, I would say you need to replace that ASAP, unless you have savings. So maybe we start there, and that's kind of what you should be thinking. It takes a long time to be profitable, because you can get lucky, and you can have some good trades, but it's difficult to hold on to it if you don't have time in the markets, to work on risk management and getting control of your emotions, how to deal with it, and implementing really good systems that keep you on the straight and narrow with trading. So that's kind of where I would start. Is if you don't have income, get income. If you have savings, great. I would focus full time on it, but it depends on how much savings you have, what your budget is going to be, and like how much you plan on investing in trading. Talk about realistic. When you think we'll be able to race in Lambos, it'll probably be a while, to be honest with you. Getting a Lambo is the last of my priorities, but yes, it would be cool. You can have a Lambo, I'll probably have a Ferrari, but yeah, getting a flashy car is the last of my priorities. You've never done what? You've never done it, but mentally you feel like you've already experienced it. Ah. You talking about cars? Car wise, want something low key but super luxury. Yeah. You know what? You know what car I've always wanted. I'd love to have, and it's not even that like expensive. Um, Here, let me pull the picture. I've just always liked the look of it, and this is something I would get before getting a Ferrari, probably. Just trying to find a good picture here. There we go. It's a Jaguar F-Type. Not super expensive. I mean, it's expensive, but not like crazy expensive, you know? It's a Jaguar F-Type. The coupe. Super clean, and not like, it's not like, you know, supercar expensive. Probably get a used one. I mean, brand new for like the version I would want is maybe like 80K. But anyway, I've always liked that car, and it's, you know, kind of realistic. Yeah, no, and it sounds really good too. Yeah, let me see if I can get a sound of it. Here we go. Hey, can you guys hear that? Anyway, yep, that's it. So it's like a classy, you know, kind of luxury sports car. But I like it. It's called a Jaguar F-Type. Hang on one sec. Kick sniffer. Yeah, it does. So if you use Trade or Die X, it'll give you 60% off. And yeah, I'll get credit for it as well. And they're really good. They will give me accounts to give away as well for you guys and for X. So yeah, use that code if you're gonna use them. But you know, there are tons of good. There are tons of good firms out there. I do honestly think they're one of the best. Man, bummer. You know, I kind of had the right idea. Well, whatever. I had so many ideas this morning. Some of them were wrong, some of them were right. But I kind of had the idea that we were going to reverse from this area. Unfortunately, my stop was too shallow. Yeah. Sorry you're going through it. And, I mean, if I were you, I would probably still be pushing, but I had a take profit trader funded account, and I didn't close one of my basically I had a stop loss that missed one micro, and that micro was carried over through the weekend, and they canceled my funded account, and there was nothing I could do about it. No matter how many times I wanted to talk to the person in charge, it was just part of their policy or whatever. And so that was like a huge bummer for me, but definitely a learning experience because well, in your situation, there is absolutely nothing you can do about that, and so it's a little bit different. But if I were you, I would probably continue to push to talk to somebody that can make it happen. But I don't know if they're going to budge on it, unfortunately. Yeah, it is life, man. Oh, okay, give me 1 second. There we go. Not really sure what to make of this right now. I mean, I could see us coming all the way down here and going to that gap that we were kind of looking at this morning. This could be a huge, deep pullback to continue going long. Obviously, we're kind of right in the middle of the range of this morning, so we've got some indecision going on. Well, I don't know if I would say indecision, but I would just say a lack of directional intention from what I can see. Maybe it's not even a lack of directional intention, but it's that I don't have enough on here to be able to see what the heck the plan is or what's going on. It's confusing. Waiting for this to hit VWAP and then trying to take a long here, it just completely melted through. Now we're down at the point of control here, and the point of control moved from up here to down here, so maybe we have some support coming in down here. But it's tough. All this price action and all this order flow here is bearish. All of this is bearish. We've had, kind of a bearish. All of this, that we've had for the past week or so, has been bearish. Well, I say week, but it's really been let's see, from the 29th. Yeah, I guess it's been about a week. Tapped into this weekly gap down here. I don't know. It's 11:30. I think I think I just need a little bit more information here. Maybe we come back up to VWAP and retest it. Definitely not inclined to take a long though. I don't know. You guys have any thoughts? Yeah, Kick Sniffer. Also, I would also try and call them if there's a way to get somebody on the phone. I'll be right back. I got the water guy coming out to my house, and I gotta put a sticky note on the door. Give me one sec. All right. Are we absorbing down here to go long now? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. What's everybody else thinking? Yeah, that's how I'm feeling. Maybe longs. First meaningful push for buyers since we dropped from up here. But kind of a drop in the bucket compared to all this selling so far, at least. Not sure. Not sure. I don't know. I mean, did this? It kind of looks like this push up is what kind of threw everything off. I mean, the initial thought was we're going bearish, and then we pushed up, and it kind of made everything short circuit. And now we're kind of having this chop back and forth right here. Not a ton of clarity, I think, for me at least. I wouldn't say be rude, but I would be a disgruntled customer that pays money, and you know uh, deserves to have your case looked into by somebody that isn't just brushing you off. I would say, based on the response you got from that customer service agent, it felt like he was brushing you off and wasn't taking your concerns seriously, and you'd like, for this issue to be corrected, either with a reset credit or for a refund on what you paid for. Because if you can't, I mean, I think you got to be really clear about what the issue was. Like, you couldn't move your stop loss, you couldn't move your take profit, you couldn't close the position, and the platform was unresponsive. So, yeah, I would be stern, and I would try and get somebody on the phone. And if somebody's not going to help you, I would ask to speak with their supervisor, I don't think you ever want to be rude because then, I mean, basically, you just want to be stern. And and sometimes if you post on social media about it, I wouldn't do that until you get a no from like on this call. Like if you call them and you ask to speak with the supervisor, then and they don't rectify it after that, then I think it's fair game to post it on social media. What the whole experience was. And tag them too. Tag them in, like if you make a post on social media, tag them. Looks like we're coming down a little further, maybe down here into this VWAP deviation. Or maybe we're coming all the way down here. I'm not feeling super confident about anything right now. I mean, I could see us continue going short. That's kind of how I feel. About 15 minutes, you're headed towards your parents. Copy that, man. I don't know if there's anything, if there's much for me to trade here. Yeah, that's how I was feeling. I'm surprised it didn't pop up, and because it hasn't popped up, I'm just wondering if we're just going to keep going lower. I'm bouncing off of this point of control right now. I'm going to hit the bathroom real quick. All right, we're melting. That's what we're doing. This is definitely like one of those times where it just it looks like we got a magnet down here that's pulling price down. That's what it looks like to me. It's this morning. It was pre-market. Sometimes I'll take, like one trade like after hours or something like that. But this morning I was basically just scalping this in here. So I don't know, man. It's like sometimes when the market is moving like after hours, it's like chop and slop and it'll really mess me up. But sometimes like pre-market, an hour or two before the market opens, it moves a little cleaner than it does like at the open. Um, sometimes like pre-market, like I'm a little more scalp heavy, so I'll take smaller moves and close it out, and I just kind of build on it. Yeah, so probably a little more like in and out pre-market than I am, when the market opens. Like usually when the market opens, I'm trying to figure out if I can catch a larger move. And pre-market, it's like I'm trying to build a cushion for the day. So yeah, I mean, kind of like my natural style of trading, I would say, is kind of more like, scalpy. Yeah, I've thought about streaming like when I do that, like when I trade pre-market as well. Um, so I don't know, I might do that in the future. But it's like I think what it is kind of when I'm scalping like that, it's tough because there's like almost no way that people can follow that kind of trading. And it might just mess people up to watch me do it. But I don't know, maybe I can just take a recording of it or something like that. But pre-market, it just goes against how I trade during market hours, so I was never really good at it. Yeah, I would say I'm probably better at trading pre-market than I am like at after hours, like Asia. Um, sometimes I'll hit an after hours trade, and sometimes it messes me up. But I think for the most part, I would much rather trade just like pre-market, an hour or two before the market opens. Um, I tend to do better than if I'm like crack trading at midnight. So, yeah, I mean, I think yeah, I mean, I guess it's a little bit different, but yeah, maybe you should try waking up early and just doing like some sim trades on it and see how it feels. Because if that offers you the ability to, make some money before you start your workday, that could be cool. Yeah, and today, in particular, what? Hang on, let me me get some music here. Hang on. You know, sometimes you wait. Like I wasn't like hunting for a move this morning. I just woke up and I looked at the chart, and you know, looking at the chart and seeing a move like this, you know, makes sense to, you know, kind of. Well, we kind of hit the extreme low here. You could see we bounced here. And because we were having trouble up here, I was thinking, okay, well, it looks like we're going to come back down. So I just took a couple shorts here. But it wasn't like I woke up and I was searching for a move. I woke up and I saw this move happen. And so, you know, when you have an like, this is kind of an extreme example, right? Because overnight we were just falling all night. It's not like I traded any of this, but I woke up and, you know, saw we bounced from this area, and it happened to align with the area I was talking about yesterday, which is the weekly, you know, new week opening gap that happened previously, which is down here. So this was one of my targets and a potential bounce area that it had tapped into and bounced from. But then when I saw we were having trouble, you know, closing over this high right here, I just, you know, was essentially thinking, okay, we're going to go retest these lows. So took a couple shorts. So sometimes it works out. And sometimes when you wake up, you know, and it's crazy because it happens like that when you're trading in general. Sometimes if you look, you know, you take a break from looking at the markets, you're just not looking at, you're not paying attention. You go to lunch and you come back, you're like, oh shit, look at that move. It's, you know, it sets you up for success by not like trying to, you know, who knows what move I would have taken if I was in here before, but after this reactionary move, you know, it kind of set me up for success. So sometimes it can happen, and sometimes these pre-market moves happen, like a, you know, like a sweep of this area, and then we start having, you know, we have some volatility enter the market, and that's when, you know, scalping can really kind of come into play and be successful for me when we have some volatility and I can get in and out. And sometimes during the pre-market, honestly, like the moves are, I don't want to say super clean, but sometimes it can be cleaner than when you're dealing with all the volume. You know, it's like back here, you know, overnight we're dealing with, you know, kind of lower volume, and then here we're dealing with some like mid volume moves, and then the open comes and it's like monster volume. And sometimes the monster volume at the beginning of the day can be confusing, but if you find the right timing for the mid volume moves, sometimes those can play out clearly, at least when you're scalping. Yeah, we definitely trade a bit differently. So, you know, when I scalp, it's, I don't scalp a ton on stream, but when I do, sometimes it's just quick moves, and sometimes I'll have a super tight stop, and I move that to break even very quickly, and it's higher size, and then I size up and then move to break even immediately, so that if I could get like a 20-point move or 40-point move, it ends up being some nice profit. But I usually keep my risk really tight. All right, so we're tapping this low here. You know, this is starting to play out essentially what the idea was for the day. It just went higher than anticipated. So we were looking to enter here for a short. It came all the way up here, and if you'd enter short here, it's great. So now we're digging into this weekly gap down here, and 25,600 was my first target. I like what's happening right now. I might just go ahead and enter on this break on these other accounts. I mean, we now have, you know, some a reason for us to feel, you know, super short on this, because we manipulated the highs. We're down at the bottom of the range, and now we have this gap that we were looking at tapping into for the bias on the day. We're now essentially fulfilling that right now. So I think that, you know, while we could bounce from this area, it's looking pretty damn heavy from here. Some Forex stuff. I had a friend who mentioned it too, and he didn't like the idea, but I get it and understand why Forex is deemed as bad. Home to fake traders. Forex is also really, it's a super efficient market. I mean, NQ is a very, you know, NQ and ES are very efficient markets as well. So I don't know. I've traded Forex before. Not the biggest fan, but. Okay, so we're kind of bouncing from this area here. I guess the question is, how high are we going to bounce, and are we going to continue going lower? I think that we have the opportunity to go lower. I mean, if we just repeat what we did over here, that would be pretty silly too. Okay. All right. I got a short in. Hopefully we're going to start moving lower. Let's see what's up. I gotta go help my girlfriend. She's having some car troubles. Give me just a little bit. I'll be back. This bounce is, I don't know, pretty big bounce, I would say. So I'll be right back. All right, well, maybe we're repeating what we did before, and we're just going to start launching the rocket. You sent the chat to Discord. I don't know what to say now. Okay, hang on one sec. Hi, Gavin. I was thinking you open trades and project kits after the brief outage was blah, blah, blah. I can see no trades were open in this window. You're right, because it didn't happen in that window. It was after. The website was still having issues for me. We'll require some evidence. We didn't have any reports from other users this week after the 1 hour outage. Here's what I would say, man. I would tell them you talked to customer service before and they asked for video evidence. You don't have video evidence, but you'd like to speak to somebody that can confirm that when you opened your trade, you did not have the ability to close it, change your stop, or move your take profit. So you need to speak to somebody on the technical team. And if that person can't help you, you need to speak with their supervisor. That's pretty much how it goes. And if they say, I'm sorry, we're not going to be able to help you because you don't have video evidence, you're going to say, I'm sorry, that's not okay with me. I'm a paying customer. And the platform was non-responsive to me. So I want you to put yourself in my position. If you were me and you were a paying customer and this happened to you, what would you do? This is the supervisor? Okay, well, tell them you don't have evidence. Man, I just need to talk to them. Tell them you don't have video evidence because you weren't recording, but here's what happened. I opened the trade. I couldn't move my stop. I couldn't close the trade. I couldn't close the take profit. So it's unacceptable for you as a paying customer to have a platform that is unresponsive to your input. And so you're asking for either a reset or a reset on the balance that was affected by the platform being completely unresponsive to you. And if they can't reset your balance and they can't reset that account, you'd like a full refund for what you paid for. That's what I would say. Something like that. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to talk to, I got to go talk to my girlfriend real quick. All right. I'm kind of torn right now. Bounced pretty hard. Rejected off of this big order here. But I don't know. This would kind of be the area to short. Yeah, unfortunately, like I think you kind of have to accept that this might not work. You know, they might not give you anything. But like here's the fact, man. Like they said that we didn't have any reports from other users this week after that 1 hour outage. And it's like it doesn't matter if you got any other reports. It's like this is what happened, you know? Like I don't know. I like that kind of thing certainly frustrates me because I've been in that situation before. And, you know, a lot of firms will just like base whether or not they help you on other people's reports. And it's like, I'm just, I don't know. I guess what I would want to know is is there any way for them to tell that you attempted to move your stop loss and it was denied, or moved your take profit and it was denied? Did you get any error message when you tried to close your orders? I'll tell you what, even when you have video evidence, some firms are just not going to do anything about it. You had error messages. I would make sure to tell them. Can you see on your end that I was receiving error messages? And next time, for sure, whenever you receive error messages, take screenshots of it. But I would definitely let them know, like, I was receiving error messages every time I tried to do X, Y, or Z. Can you confirm on your end that I was getting those error messages? I think I'm probably going to have to get off here in a second, guys. My girl's kind of dealing with, her car had some issues the other night. It was kind of crazy. Like on Halloween night, we were driving it and it just like started smoking and shaking. And so we got somebody coming out to come look at it, but I think she needs a little help because she might need to rent a car, or she's going to borrow my car. So I think I need to go be a good boyfriend. And today was kind of wacky. You know, I'm glad I didn't keep trading on my on these accounts. I don't know. I kept my profit from pre-market, and that might just have to do. You know, that's okay. I'm up. What am I up? Still got some making up to do on the week, but you know, up 2K today. I'm okay with that. And you know, not trying to trade when you know, I mean, obviously there was a good move to have, and it was a short up here. We could have taken this long here, but you know, I have a feeling that if I had taken this long here, I probably would have been stopped out break even or something like that. But for me, the move was a short up here, but it was kind of unclear at the time because we had so much strength going into it. I did attempt to get a short on it, but it was early and my stop was too shallow. But you know, I think seeing the selling impact price the way it was kind of a short or an early telltale sign of, you know, this reversal, and I probably should have stuck with it. But in any case, today was a little tricky. This price action was tricky. I hope you guys stayed safe. And yeah, I'm gonna go help her out a little bit. But I'll see you guys tomorrow. I'll be on Discord if you guys end up taking any awesome trades. Share them. And then G Money, you got this customer service thing going on. I would just kind of, expect it not to pan out in your favor, but I would certainly try. And I would push that supervisor as hard as you can. You're a paying customer and their shit failed. So in any case, keep me posted on that. You guys have a great day. I'll talk to you tomorrow. So peace out, guys.